Okay, this is our electric meter. Okay, it's 200 amps. It is sealed. Power comes below grade through a conduit. The conduit does not have a slip joint to protect the system, so when the house moves independently from the ground, it can, I'm not seeing any adverse effect so far, but that's what we're seeing. We've only got one ground. By today's standards, we should have two grounds within 6 feet. We do have a grounding rod, and it's 8-foot grounding rod is supposed to be buried 8 feet. It's not supposed to be buried 7 foot 6 inches, if it's even that long. Okay, but the grounding rod was not properly buried. We are on the west side of the garage. It's the garage west exterior wall. And some things I didn't point this out before, but we've got up here our soffit cornice. We got some separation up there. You think water can get in there? I do. But now we're in the garage, and we're looking around, and oh, there it is, we found it. Okay, this is the load center. Let's go back for a moment. When this home was built, times were different. I get that, but it's a safety device. What we're supposed to be seeing out here, oh, hey, not me. What we're supposed to be seeing out here, okay, is an emergency shutoff. I'm not seeing one of those on the exterior wall, so the fire department doesn't even have to come into the house. If you got an emergency, the first responders come in, and they come on in. So then we just kind of work our way through, and we're workers, and we come in. We do have a main principal, but we don't have a main shutoff valve. And we do not have non-conductive covers, even though they're pretty well covered up in there. I'm going to go ahead and say we have non-protective covers. You're supposed to have protective covers over these. And you know what? I might not even write that up now that I think about it. But who knows? Up here, we got bundling. Okay? See these big holes? These are for L1 and L2 to come through. That's L1 and L2. And these are these smaller holes, 2 wires at a time. We brought them all in through one big hole. Look at that. Okay, so no. Our cabinet is not supposed to have more than 1/8 of an inch gap. Okay, so this cover, ideally, okay, this dead front cover plate, now they call it the front cover plate, but dead front cover plate is supposed to fit on top of this cabinet and seal everything in. And then in here, going to the meter, can you see all that light in there? We're supposed to have fire caulk in there. And that's our single ground. And this cabinet's supposed to seal on this, but it can't because it's sealing on the wall. You can see where it's sealing on the wall. So if it melts down, you got to fire it. Comes on out. And then your wires aren't supposed to be touching your dead front cover plate. And then our bonding location is supposed to be labeled in here, and I don't see that. Maybe. Let's look. I'm not seeing it anywhere. Electrician probably can't find it. You know, they're smart, but it's supposed to be labeled, you know, foolproof is what they say. Then our white conductors coming in, that's not supposed to be touching the cabinet cover. That's not supposed to have more than 1/8 of an inch. Okay, well, when they come in and they're white, they're supposed to be labeled with black tape. If you don't know that's hot, you don't belong in this box. I get that. But no, they're supposed to be labeled with black tape. And they're not supposed to be touching the cabinet cover. That's why they put these bumpers here. See those bumpers right there? On every cabinet coming off the line. One after another. 365 days a year, 24 hours a day, millions of them are produced. And they put that extra plastic on there. Why do you think they put that plastic on there? To give somebody a clue. Why do you think they make them black? They have to give somebody a clue. This is our main neutral coming in, and it's supposed to be wrapped with white tape, and it's not. Without the black tape, without the white tape, is this going to work? Yeah. Is it going to make the house blow up? No. Okay. Is it right? No. It's incorrect. It's wrong. It's a deficiency. So that's what I'm writing about. So now we got our breakers in here, and we're looking at these breakers, and we're missing a label on this breaker. By deduction, I was able to assume that this goes to the condensing unit, and which would be properly fused. Now our furnace should have a disconnect when we get into the attic. When we're coming over here, in our range, it's supposed to have a lockout. We do not have a lockout on there. All right, and then most of all these are supposed to be AFCI, arc fault protection interrupters. They're supposed to be AFCI protected. And then all of our kitchen appliances, okay, from our microwave to our vent fan, even our clothes washer should be GFCI. Clothes dryer should be GFCI. Refrigerator should be GFCI. Disposal should be GFCI. Range, the one without the lockout, should be GFCI. They should be GFCI protected, and they're not. Okay, so we're coming down here to our panel, and see this little guy right here? Okay, that seals up a hole. See these breakers? They're level. See how this hole goes deeper than this hole because you got that little knockout spacer? No knockout spacer? You can just stick your finger in there and get a dose of electricity. That's what you can do. You can do that real handy like. No. Okay, you're supposed to have a knockout spacer there. And see this? The manufacturer printed that. What do you think the manufacturer printed that for? For duplicity. In case something happens to your sticker up here. Okay, you can come down here and you can read it. That's what it's there for. That's what it's there for.